with all the students there. She embarrassed me.
Yeah, because
Um,
it should be private.
they were very prejudiced in those days with Mexicans. They used
Really.
to call it Mexican. Yeah, they were extremely prejudiced. You couldn't speak Spanish in school or nothing.
Mm.
We had to go to the principal's office. When you go out to recess, you want to. But anyway,
Yeah,
that was,
that was actually my third question. The third question is, I know when you were going to school, you would get penalized, right, for speaking Spanish. Like the administration wouldn't they hit you with the paddle or
no,
no?
no. I don't remember any kind of physical. See, the only thing is that we're a little different from the rest of the community because Mama was a school teacher.
Oh, okay.
So when we were little, we learned English first and then Spanish.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too hard for us. So I really can't relate to that too much. But the boys did. The boys got paddled.
Oh, really?
But I don't remember any girls. We were just we had to stay at school, and you know, uh, or go to the principal's office and wait there 30 minutes just sitting down. But I never disobeyed. I always spoke English during recess.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah.
so I don't know what to write down. Uh,
I mean,
you know,
it's good that they weren't like that. I mean, they're a little prejudiced, but I mean, at least they didn't really penalize you for that, or anything.
oh
Um,
yes, definitely. We didn't have the teachers.
yeah,
They weren't. They never took time individually. With students that were excelling, they never took pride in say, well, I helped this student out. I listened and I encouraged or whatever. They just you just went from one grade to another.
yeah. I wish
So
it would.
that's another downfall for us.
Yeah, yeah. Like in this generation, right? Like how I feel like teachers are more money hungry. I mean, not all of them. I don't know.
Just it was just a job to them.
Yeah,
They didn't. Maybe it's because their expectations were so low of Mexican Americans at that time. They
yeah,
didn't feel. Maybe they felt that their time was wasted because, like I told you, my situation was a little different because of Mama's education, but
yeah,
not everybody was blessed with that. So I don't know how they treated them. They might have mistreated them more.
yeah.
But I never took notice. We were very innocent in those days. Knowledge and everything was. And Mama always had encyclopedias. Where we could do our homework the right way.
Yeah,
Turning up.
she
She
was really
believed in
educated.
education.
Yeah, that was like the
It was.
top priority for her.
Yeah, but when my father left, he abandoned us. We never heard from him. So he never with food or rent or nothing. He just like had us and disappeared.
Yeah,
So naturally, even though my mother was educated, she went through depression.
yeah. I mean,
Where
I think anyone would if they
uh,
had to go through that. I mean,
she went through a lot of years of depression.
yeah,
Because I was already 15 when I got married, and we still were very poor.
yeah.
But as soon as I got married, maybe 8 months later, a year later, she became a nurse. But I was already married.
Uh, yeah. Question four actually tied into that. Like, how did growing up without your father make you feel?
I was so ashamed
Really?
since I was little. I was little. I was in elementary, and I remember so well. They give you a little card. Your father's occupation, your mother's occupation.
Yeah.
He never worked.
He didn't
He
at
never
all?
had a job. Never had a job.
He was,
So
wasn't he a
even
witch
though I
doctor?
was little, was one of those medicine men.
Yeah, like a witch doctor, right? That's what he was.
Brujo.
Okay.
So I remember crying one time
Oh.
because I felt like I didn't have a normal life. My father never worked. So in other words, ever since I went into school, I was depressed, even though I was a child. Didn't know what depression was, but everything was against us. How can you succeed like that?
Yeah, it's like when all the
All
odds are against you, you know.
the odds are against you exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's horrible. Um,
so he didn't have a job, so that was something that I don't know how you can word it. That it's in other words, you bring children into the world, and you don't have a leg to stand on
no,
because
no.
you don't have no support.
Yeah, I mean
You know.
that's being very selfish to do that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
question 5 is oh how old were you when you had gotten married?
I was 15 when I got married.
Okay, 15.
15.
What do you
I turned 15 in August, and I got married the following in February. I
uh,
got married in February 10th, 1962.
oh, okay. Uh, looking back, what do you
And
think drove you to get married like so young?
uh, uh, there was no food.
Man.
I was starving. I was literally starving. We were starving. You know. My brother Robert is 3 years younger than me. He used to go to walking to it was like a market, uh, like where they dispense all the fruits and vegetables to all the city. I don't
Okay.
know what to call it. And he would bring the old fruit and stuff, you know, that they were gonna throw away. He would bring it to us,
Here,
and
bring it home.
we had to go and get in those days there were no food stamps, there was no help for women
Yeah,
at
there was.
all, no welfare, no nothing. So that's why I got that.
Yeah. So yeah, so it
And,
was like an escape from the
and
house.
my husband too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Mm.
she couldn't support us. She just couldn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't her fault.
Yeah.
And there was five of us.
Yeah, I
My
know.
mother was after I got married.
I mean,
So
just trying to raise one kid is a lot to
is
handle,
it
but
not?
yeah, but 5
Can
is.
you imagine five? Yeah. And I had already quit school. I had already quit school in September.
Oh, and you had got married?
I did it.
Or
No.
I don't know.
And I wasn't pregnant or nothing. It was just, my husband too, he kind of, he used to work him to death.
Yeah.
But we
What was his first job, James? So like when you were married, what was he
he was
doing?
he worked for Coca-Cola bottling company.
Oh, okay, okay.
When they yeah, and then he got hired as a meat cutter.
Yeah, I do remember
So
that he
that was
was primarily that.
he was that was his occupation. He was a meat cutter for many years.
Yeah. Question 6 is during your marriage.